My beloved child, I am calling you one more time today, not because I have forgotten you, but because I refuse to stop reaching for your heart. You have heard my voice before, sometimes through my word, sometimes through a quiet whisper in your spirit, sometimes through the kindness of another person, sometimes in the silence, when you knew deep within that I was near. Yet life became busy. The noise of the world grew louder. Responsibilities increased. Disappointments accumulated. And little by little, you stopped listening as closely as you once did. But I have not stopped speaking. I have been calling your name with the same love, the same patience, and the same mercy. I am calling you today because I desire a relationship with you, not merely your attention for a few moments, but your heart every day. Do not think I have come to condemn you. I have come to invite you back. Just as the Father welcomed the prodigal son with open arms, I welcome you. No lecture, no rejection, only grace of the one who turns toward me. Perhaps you've been saying, Lord, I failed too many times. My prayers aren't what they used to be. I've drifted too far. My child, if you can still hear my voice, then you're not too far. My mercy is greater than your failures. My love is stronger than your shame. My forgiveness reaches farther than your regrets. That is why I am calling you again. Not because you earned another chance, but because my grace is greater than your past. Come back to me. Lay down the burden you've been carrying alone. Lay down the guilt that has convinced you to hide from me. Lay down the fear that tells you I've given up on you. I have not. I never will. For my word says, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11, verse 28. That invitation has never expired. It is still for you. Today, right now, my beloved child, you do not have to clean yourself up before coming to me. Come as you are. Bring your brokenness. Bring your questions. Bring your doubts. Bring the pieces of your life that you think are beyond repair. Place them in my hands. For I am the God who restores. I make beauty from ashes. I bring hope where despair once lived. I breathe life into hearts that believe they were beyond healing. So listen carefully. I am calling you one more time today, not to burden you, but to free you, not to shame you, but to restore you, not to remind you of who you were, but to show you who you can become through my grace. My beloved child, there is a reason my voice has been stirring your heart. It is because I know what lies ahead, and I desire to prepare you before you arrive there. I have never called my children without purpose. When I called Noah, it was before the rain began. When I called Moses, it was before Israel's deliverance. When I called Esther, it was before a nation needed her courage. When I called Peter, it was before he became a fisher of men. My calling has always come before the assignment. That is why I am speaking to you today. Not because I want to interrupt your life, but because I want to prepare you for what I have planned. You have been asking me to open new doors. You have prayed for greater opportunities. You have asked for wisdom, for direction, for purpose, and those are good prayers. But before I entrust you with more, I desire to draw you closer to me, because your greatest blessing is not a new opportunity. It is my presence. If you gain success but lose your closeness with me, you have gained far less than you imagine. But if you walk closely with me, then whether you have much or little, your soul will know peace. That is a treasure no circumstance can steal. Do not chase blessings more than you chase the one who blesses. Do not seek answers more than you seek my presence. For when your heart is fixed on me, everything else finds its proper place. Remember what my son taught. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Notice the order. Seek me first, not your plans, not your fears, not your ambitions. Me, when I become your first priority. Your decisions become clearer. Your heart becomes steadier. Your faith becomes stronger. The confusion that once surrounded you begins to fade because my truth becomes your compass. There are voices in the world competing for your attention every single day. Some promise quick success. Others promise happiness without holiness. Still others encourage you to rely only on yourself. But my voice remains unchanged. I still call you to trust me, to love others, to forgive freely, to walk humbly, to remain faithful even when no one is watching. These are not burdens. They are the path to life. My child, do not measure your worth by what you own, by how many people admire you, or by how quickly your plans unfold. Your value has never been determined by the world. Your value was settled the moment I created you in my image and demonstrated my love for you through Christ. You are deeply loved. You are never forgotten. And you are never beyond my reach. So when you hear my voice calling today, do not harden your heart. Respond with faith. Respond with humility. Respond with the simple willingness to say, Lord, here I am. Lead me where you want me to go. Teach me what you want me to learn. And help me become the person you created me to be. That simple prayer, offered with a sincere heart, can become the beginning of a beautiful new chapter with me. My beloved child, do you remember the days when you spoke with me without hesitation? When your faith was simple? When you believed that I could do anything? When your heart was quick to trust and slow to doubt? Life has tested that faith. There were prayers that seemed to remain unanswered. There were losses you never expected. There were people you trusted who walked away. There were moments when your strength felt exhausted. I know every one of those moments. I was there when you cried in silence. I was there when no one noticed your tears. I was there when you smiled in front of others while your heart was quietly breaking. Never believe that I only see your victories. I also see your hidden battles, and I have never stopped walking beside you through them. Even when you felt alone, you were never abandoned. Even when you questioned whether I was listening, I had already heard every word before it left your lips. My silence was never a sign that I had left you. Sometimes I'm accomplishing my deepest work in the seasons that seem the quietest. A seed beneath the soil does not appear to be growing. Yet every day, life is forming where human eyes cannot see it. So it has been with you. While you wondered if anything was changing, I was strengthening your faith. While you questioned your purpose, I was shaping your character. While you waited for the breakthrough, I was preparing you to carry it with humility. Never mistake unseen progress for no progress. I am always working. Even when you cannot trace my hand, you can trust my heart. My child, do not allow yesterday's disappointments to become tomorrow's expectations. The pain of your past does not have permission to define your future. I am doing a new work within you, but to receive what is new, you must be willing to release what no longer belongs in your life. Release the guilt that I have already forgiven. Release the bitterness that keeps your heart imprisoned. Release the fear that whispers you will never change. Those voices are not mine. My voice speaks hope. My voice speaks truth. My voice reminds you that my grace is sufficient for every weakness you bring before me. Do not be afraid to begin again. Every sunrise is a reminder of my mercy. Every new day is an invitation to walk with me once more. I do not grow tired of welcoming my children. I do not become impatient with sincere hearts that return to me. I rejoice when you seek me. I delight in restoring what has been broken. So lift your eyes. Today is not the end of your story. It is another opportunity to trust me more deeply than you did yesterday. Take my hand, walk with me, and let my peace guide every step you take. For the road ahead may still have challenges, but you will never have to face them alone. I will be your strength when you are weak, your wisdom when you are uncertain, your comfort when your heart is heavy, and your hope when the future seems unclear. Keep walking with me, my beloved child, one faithful step at a time, and you will discover that I have been leading you with love all along. My beloved child, as you listen to my voice today, do not think that your life is ordinary in my eyes. You may feel unnoticed by the world, but heaven knows your name. Before anyone believed in you, I knew you. Before anyone spoke words of encouragement over your life, I had already spoken purpose into your existence. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not here by chance. I formed you with intention. I created you with gifts that no one else can carry in exactly the same way. There are lives you will touch that no one else can reach. There are words of kindness only you will speak. There are acts of compassion only you will choose. There are prayers only you will offer. Never underestimate what I can do through a heart that simply says, Lord, use me. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to be the strongest person in the room. You do not need to have a perfect past. I have always worked through ordinary people who were willing to trust me. Think of the disciples. They were fishermen, tax collectors, men with weaknesses and fears just like anyone else. Yet because they followed me, their lives changed the world. It was never about their ability. It was about their willingness. The same is true for you. Stop waiting until you feel perfect before serving me. Stop believing that your past disqualifies your future. If I have forgiven you, do not continue condemning yourself. If I've called you, do not let fear silence your obedience. There will always be reasons to delay. There will always be excuses that seem reasonable. But my invitation remains the same. Walk with me today. Love the people I place before you. Encourage someone who feels forgotten. Forgive someone who does not expect your forgiveness. Choose honesty when deception seems easier. Choose kindness when anger feels justified. Choose faith when fear demands your attention. Every one of these choices reflects my heart, and every act of obedience becomes a light in a world that desperately needs hope. Remember what my son said. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5, verse 14. Do not hide the light I have placed within you. Let it shine through your words. Let it shine through your actions. Let it shine through the way you love others. Someone is watching your life more closely than you realize. Someone is searching for hope. Someone is wondering if faith is real. Perhaps they will never read a Bible before they meet you, but they will see how you live. Let your life point them toward me. This is why I am calling you once again today. Not only because I love you, but because there are people whose lives will be changed when you answer my call with a willing heart. So do not hold back. Do not let fear keep you silent. Do not let doubt keep you standing still. Trust me, walk with me, and watch what I can accomplish through a heart that is fully surrendered to my will. My beloved child, there is something I want you to remember whenever the weight of life feels too heavy to carry. You were never meant to carry every burden on your own. Yet so often you try. You carry tomorrow's worries before tomorrow arrives. You replay yesterday's failures as though they still have authority over your life. You exhaust yourself trying to control what only I can control, and then you wonder why your heart feels so weary. Come to me, not because you have everything together, but because you don't. I have never asked you to be your own savior. I have only asked you to trust mine. When your heart is overwhelmed, do not run farther from me. Run closer. When your mind is filled with questions, bring them to me. When tears fall and words fail you, remember that I understand even the prayers you cannot put into sentences. I know what weighs on your heart before you speak a single word. I know the concerns that keep you awake at night, the family member you've been praying for, the decision you've been postponing, the financial pressure that seems to grow heavier each month, the loneliness you've tried so hard to hide, the dream you quietly wonder will ever come to pass. None of these are hidden from me, and neither are you. That is why I keep calling you, not to remind you of your weakness, but to remind you of my strength, for my power is made perfect in weakness. When you reach the end of your own ability, you often discover the beginning of my provision. Do not be ashamed to admit that you need me. Dependence upon me has never been weakness. It is wisdom. It is faith. It is where true peace begins. So stop carrying what I have invited you to surrender. Release your anxiety into my hands. Release your future into my hands. Release the people you cannot change into my hands. You are responsible for faithfulness, not for controlling every outcome. Trust me with the results. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with the things that remain beyond your understanding. One day, you will look back and realize that the moments which taught you to depend on me were the moments that strengthened your faith the most. They were not wasted. They were preparing you to know me more deeply than comfort ever could. So if your heart feels tired today, rest in my promises. If your mind feels overwhelmed, fill it with my word. If your spirit feels weak, remember that I am your strength. I have carried my children through storms before. I carried Noah through the flood. I carried Elijah through discouragement. I carried Paul through hardship. And I will carry you through whatever lies ahead. You do not have to know every answer. You only need to know the one who holds tomorrow. And I am already there, waiting for you, leading you, strengthening you, calling you to walk forward with faith instead of fear. So take the next step, my beloved child, not because you have no questions, but because you know that my hands are holding yours. My beloved child, before you finish listening, I want to leave you with one question. When I call, will you answer? Not tomorrow, not when life becomes easier, not when every question has been answered. Today, because every day you choose to walk with me is a day that changes your future. I am not asking you to take a giant leap. I am asking you to take one faithful step, one prayer, one act of obedience, one decision to trust me a little more than you did yesterday. Great journeys of faith have always begun with small acts of surrender. Abraham took one step before he knew his destination. Ruth chose faithfulness before she saw redemption. The disciples left their nets before they understood the full story. They did not have every answer, but they had enough faith to follow. That is all I ask of you. Do not wait until your faith feels perfect. Walk with the faith you have today. I can strengthen a willing heart. I can guide a humble spirit. I can restore a life that has been broken, but I will never force the door of your heart open. Love does not force. Love invites. That is why I continue calling you. Patiently, faithfully, tenderly, again and again. Every sunrise is another reminder that my mercy is new. Every breath you take is another opportunity to begin again. No matter how many times you have stumbled, my grace is still greater. No matter how many times you have doubted, my faithfulness has never changed. No matter how far you believe you've wandered, the road back to me is never closed. So stop believing the lie that it is too late. It is not too late to pray again. It is not too late to forgive. It is not too late to trust. It is not too late to obey. As long as I have given you today, there is still hope. There is still purpose. There is still a future filled with my grace. So open your heart once more. Let my peace quiet your fears. Let my truth silence every lie that has tried to define you. Let my love remind you that you have never been forgotten. I have called you by name. I know your beginning. I know your ending. And I will remain faithful through every chapter in between. Walk with me. Listen for my voice and my word. Seek me in prayer. Love others as I have loved you. And trust that even when you cannot see my hand, you can always trust my heart. My beloved child, I am calling you one more time today, not because I have run out of patience, but because my love for you never runs out. Answer my call, and let this day become the beginning of a deeper walk with me. May my peace rest upon your heart. May my wisdom guide every decision you make. May my grace strengthen you for every challenge ahead. And may you never forget the simple truth. You are loved, you are known, and you are never alone. Amen.